the wall of Tide. Like, this hero is really going to determine the game, I feel like. So maybe you start trialing against this guy. Can you do that with your heroes? Can you pressure him out and give him a bad game? Or we'll see.
Yeah, what do you think the reason is we haven't seen a whole lot of Tide in this tournament thus far? Because there were still a lot of offlane heroes available, as the panel was talking about, so they purposely chose for the Tide relatively early.
I don't think we've seen the trio of Chen, Beastmaster, PL very much, which just gives the hero more and more added value. Usually we will see maybe one of these heroes, maybe two. Let's imagine the PL was a different carry entirely. Then the Tide pick looks a lot worse, but it doesn't necessarily look bad if it's a different carry, but it's just like an S tier pick this game because of the added value that it has. However, worth noting, obviously Tide is pretty susceptible to getting mana burn, and PL will absolutely be going Diffusal. So it's a little bit of a, you can poke and prod, you can maybe drain his mana, and then you can go from there as Ramses in this game.
Yep, that is true.
And it feels like that might be how you have to play regardless later on in the game, right? It's a little bit of flanking, playing on angles instead of just brute forcing S5, because you would be brute forcing into Monkey Ring, Tide ult, Lash. It's hard. So
there's not exactly a silver edge carrier per se on 9 Pandas side though, so you have to kind of force it a bit onto the PL.
True.
Yeah, we'll see what they opt for if it gets to that point. I mean, we've seen this patch is really interesting because we have seen some crazy games. We've seen a lot of stomps, which we were kind of anticipating because of the fact that it is a new patch. But now that we're so deep into it, are you expecting any differences now that these teams are kind of following a meta closer than the other teams would have because they've actually made it late into the tournament?
I still think inherently the way the patch works right now generates an opportunity for teams that get off to a good head start to just absolutely run away with it. So I would be surprised today if all the games we see are close. I think some of them will be pretty one-sided, and that's going to be because either a team just out-executes in the first 10 minutes in the laning stage, uses the gates better, or because they have a strategic advantage where they've just counterpicked the lanes better. It's hard not to drop the ball a single time in this stage of the tournament. There's so much more to think about because the teams are showing more and more strategies, so you have to consider additional bans, you have to consider additional laning setups, and again, that's something Liquid have done a really good job at in this game, in my opinion, is to make their lineup very difficult to draft against. So 9 Pandas lineup in a vacuum is very solid the way it works and what it tries to do, but Liquid definitely didn't make it easy for them.
Yeah, because we have a Blood Grenade used in the bot lane, and Sandy's going to take a sticky bomb to the back here. We'll be able to walk it off, though, as the harassment continues on. The mid lane is what I am most interested in. It is Nisha on the Lesh versus Kiyotaka's Queen of Pain. The panel kind of talked about this matchup. I'll let you take over as well. But the last time we cast Kiyotaka, a couple days ago, that was the old Tinker game, and it was a thing of beauty for some. People that hate Tinker, maybe not so much, but that was an impressive performance nonetheless.
Yeah, I think this lane is... I mean, first of all, I'm going to judge... let's try that again.
Trudge it up, son.
I'm gonna trust Storm's judgment. There we go. That was hard to say apparently.
Roger's getting blocked in. This could be first blood. Boxy and company will be taking it. So first blood the way of Liquid, and it looks like Boxy will be able to get out just fine.
Yeah, so about the mid, just I will trust Storm on this one. Obviously, he's the mid expert. I think it makes a lot of sense as well that this matchup should be skill based. And oh, nice stun there from Nisha. Good harassment, because Queen of Pain is going to throw out her Shadow Strikes and try to get an advantage on the Lesh, but Lesh is one of the mid heroes with the highest just raw spell damage from range, so he can fight back and stand his ground. And then it comes down to, just raw last hit damage. Both heroes have basically the exact same damage, so yeah, it checks out that this should be a pretty even matchup, and so far so good, right? Both players with 9 CS. A couple more denies on Nisha as well as the first water rune. Yep. Yutaka has a bottle coming out, so he'll go top now.
Yeah, so we'll be getting that trade, and we've been seeing a lot of movement at the 4-minute bounty, and obviously the 6-minute power rune has been just as powerful and important as the last patch. And Miero going to continue out with those axes. Is this an Aghanim Scepter build? Is this a good game for Aghanim Scepter Beastmaster? The drums.
So for now, he's considering Helm of the Dominator. I think the way their lineup works, they want as many auras as possible, right? They want to play with Chen and Beastmaster's auras, so going Dom and then having Chen buy the aura items is probably good. You can probably get drums at some point down the stretch here if this becomes a longer game, but I don't think it should be your go-to plan. So It's still a little bit of a mystery item to me, I'll have to admit. Like, I'm not completely certain when it's truly good. We've seen some games where it's been amazing, and we've seen other games where it's kind of underwhelming.
Yep, that is fair. And Ramsey's in the top lane, 11-2 CS. Zai in the meantime, 12-5, so he's doing quite good. Obviously, Tidehunter against melee heroes in general is going to have a decent time as long as he's able to get these levels.
This hero's amazing against PL in lane. The PL just offers nothing against you. You block a lot of the damage with the Kraken Shell, you buy Ring of Health, and you just anchor smash every time he wants to CS. And PL coupled with Chen can't really bully the Tide. If the support was a different kind, maybe you would have a shot at it, but Chen needs to have, effectively Chen needs to get a Chain Lightning Harpy. I think that's more or less the only way you bully Tide level 1 and 2. And once Tide gets level 4, even that won't cut it anymore.
So you're saying Roger has been very unlucky in getting these creeps.
Well, it's part of the game.
That's right.
They've also blocked the... Wait, did he? He unblocked the small camp himself, but now Tide is going to walk in and body block it. So Roger will have to explore his options. He'll find a little Centaur. That ain't great.
Okay.
And now the Kobold camp. Maybe he'll take the healing creep and just... Oh, he'll take the Foreman. Nice to have some move speed, I suppose.
And Boxy jumping in, just able to do a little bit of chip damage. 9 Pandas did control the 4-minute water rune, so Kiyotaka able to bottle one, and Antares just takes the other. So Nisha a bit starved on the mana department. We can see he does have a half-level advantage in the mid lane. Pretty significant, but there is a full wave now for Kiyotaka to catch up. I think this 6-minute rune is going to be extremely important, as Nisha's actually just going to walk back to base.
Yeah, if you get the right rune of Queen of Pain and you get level 6 before Lesh, you can absolutely solo kill this hero. I think Kiyotaka will equalize the experience now. If he sets this up well and gets like 2/3 of this wave, if not the whole wave denied, then he will actually have that advantage. Nisha's coming back now, so he only lost 1 creep. He'll be completely fine.
And Boxy continuing to harass Roger as Antares. He's going to get caught potentially. Insania and Mickey teaming up. And that's going to be a casual kill for Mickey in his meta form. So second kill for Liquid here in the lower bracket finals of Berlin Major. As Kiyotaka looking... Oh, it's going to take a lot of damage from Boxy right now. The Jingu stacks are stacking up. He's going to be able to blink away, trying to kite him a bit with that Shadow Strike. Applies another one. Trying to dodge it out, but Boxy, he's going to end up falling. Scream of Pain is there, but Nisha's trying to help out as well. Gets the deny. Nope. Kiyotaka ends up netting himself the kill. Just barely off time there for Nisha. Good attempt.
Taking full advantage of all things. We were kind of joking about it, but the Kobold move speed aura, he kept...
That's true.
He actually kept outranging the Monkey King by like 50 range non-stop with that move speed. And
very valuable.
Nisha now could be in trouble.
He is. 6-minute power rune's going to pop. It's going to be in the top, and that means Kiyotaka's going to get that along with the kill. But no Boundless Strike from Boxy. He's able to steal that at the very least, but obviously Nisha dying is not what Liquid would want. Antares falls to Insania. He's made the transition over here as well. A little too late to save the Lesh.
It's a big kill for 9 Pandas to find that Lesh rack there. And yeah, sure you don't get the power rune, but he didn't either. I guess Kiyotaka might have to go to base after this wave. Like, he is a little bit exposed if he gets caught by a Monkey King stun into Lesh stun. Does have no bounty rune to take either because Monkey King has cleaned that one up, along with Ramsey's Courier, of all things. 2
juicy range creeps. He needs that XP, surely.
Yeah.
Gonna stick around a little bit longer. You can see Boxy backstabbing here potentially. I'm not sure
spotted by the Courier
there. Double stack into a triple, it looks like. Boxy will not be blocking it. As a pause. How many, let's start with 9 Pandas. How many 9 Pandas fans are in the audience today? Okay, all right, not
That's
bad.
more than 9.
Yeah, that's decent. And Liquid fans? Liquid? All right.
It's relatively even.
It's not as polarizing as I thought it would be. That's good to see.
People are just cheering for good Dota.
That's right. That's what we always want to see. As Boxy making his way over to the bot lane now. Did not use the gates. This is he actually just walked basically the entire way. But it will be able to go onto the trees, and
I think Tower saw him.
Bottom, and there the axes bring him down to the ground. Don't think they want to commit any further though, as a Fate's Edict is there to protect him. Just the fact that they've spotted him, he's wasted quite a bit of time now.
Overall, looking at the CS, though, it's looking very good for Liquid. All 3 lanes, top CS. So even with these couple of kills going either way, Liquid have accumulated a 1,000 net worth lead, just primarily from raw lane creeps. 50 on the Lash, 46 on Terrorblade. And a good amount of denies, too, which means Miero will be slightly behind in the bot lane. Will get his level 6 soon, and you would imagine that Queen of Pain is going to probably skill her ulti on level 8 in this game and try to connect to play with Aurora. He's actually going to have to use it defensively.
Has to use it. Boxy comes in, the balance strike he used only to kill the board, knowing that the kill onto the hero itself was unlikely. So a lot of movement here from Liquid, not ending up netting a kill, but they do force the roar out.
That's decent.
And Kiyotaka, like you talked about, just about to hit level 8, has an Invis rune, and we'll see if he does level that Sonic Wave coming up.
That's the thing. I feel like he would have loved to connect with the Beastmaster Roar and kill the Terrorblade bottom with Sonic Wave, but now that the Roar is on cooldown, this timing might miss.
Yeah,
Boxy.
that is true. Boxy spotted out.
Yeah, he's mega
Sticky
dead.
bomb into the initiation from Antares. More than enough damage, so a kill going the way of 9 Pandas.
Yeah, nice little ward there. They've had it for a while. Boxy placed a sentry, so he will know they have these wards
mid lane, Kiyotaka's in a lot of trouble. They set up a nice stun onto him. Able to bring out, but the Lightning Storm somehow procs. Okay. Is quite the range there.
One of the less known changes of 733B, Lightning Storm now actually has global cast range.
Antares is going to get caught in the river. Still 3 members of Liquid here, easily cleaning him up. It looked like it was cast on, and then it didn't technically proc until after the blink went through. It was kind of a weird interaction.
That's the thing about Lightning Storm is when the animation finishes, the spell still
small delay.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Finger of Death, right?
Yeah.
Where you see the animation and then the damage comes delayed.
Oh, Nisha stealing a nice stack here
That
on the
is
hard
huge.
camp. And obviously Miero's going to want to be able to take this ancient stack by himself.
That's such a big win for Liquid, though, getting that out of Beastmaster's hands. You're delaying his Helm of the Dominator so much here. Ancient should go his way, which is obviously the bigger of the two, but a couple of 100 gold.
10-minute rune. Where will it spawn? It will be top. It is an arcane. Actually will not be denied, so Kiyotaka just takes it for himself. And now Miero finally left alone to get his ancient creeps ever so slowly with those axes. And in terms of the farm between him and Zai, I mean, there's a pretty big difference. Zai, 800 net worth lead right now. And, I mean, you talked about this lane kind of being free for him. At some point, do you think Ramses needs to leave, or is he fine to just try to farm with Anchor Smash as the permanent debuff applied to him? He's going to be spotted, though. He's going to heal up a bit. Boundless Strike is there. Zai gets off the Ravage. Gush to follow, and a casual right-click is enough. Mickey even coming through the gate to provide moral support, if nothing else, and now they're going to turn this into potentially a tier 1 top.
Yeah, usually PL, the way he sustains in this lane is that he gets the Diffusal a little bit earlier than this, and then he just drains Tide's mana to stay, but hasn't quite got there yet. And of course, that is kind of a consequence of the lane they were playing with, as well as the support, that you couldn't really stop Zai from denying a lot of this. He's got 14 denies on the Tide, and imagine all of those are CS on PL. He would have had Diffusal 2 minutes ago, and he could have definitely stood his ground way better than this. Now he's gonna retreat to the jungle for now. I wonder how 9 Pandas are gonna distribute their heroes. Who's gonna be sitting top? Is it still gonna be the PL just cutting between this and the jungle, or will they give a bit of space to the supports? They're gonna go on Tide.
Yeah, Zai, his Kraken Shell does activate. The roar to come afterwards. Blast off activates the Kraken Shell again, and he's gonna be just fine. Insania comes out as well, provides some support.
Tide is so good this game.
Insania, though, he might be the one in trouble. Has to pop False Promise on himself, Zai. They know that he does not have Ravage, so not as much threat, but Nisha has plenty of time to get over here. Insania does drop 3 members of 9 Pandas onto the tier 1 tower. Antares, he's going to get one more sticky bomb, but inevitably will fall. Nice Sonic Wave onto 2, and Insania, or Nisha, I should say, dropped by the axes. And Zai thought he was invulnerable, but now he's outnumbered 3 versus 1 as Boxy's going to chop down the tree again. Triple kill for Miero. Boxy gets off one more Boundless Strike, and he will fall shortly after. Somehow, 9 Pandas end out on top of that fight.
Yeah, amazing push there. They know that there's no Ravage because Tide used that on the PL top, and they feel confident that they can handle this with Hand of God and Mech, and they would be right. The fight gets so long that Beastmaster keeps stacking up the axes and just does an amazing amount of damage in this team fight. Actually second to Techies, who did the most. A lot of damage from, I think it was 2 proximity mines coming out from Antares and a good blast off there. So for the first time this game, 9 Pandas now taking the gold lead. It's not by a significant amount, but it's a really healthy sign for them to be able to take this tower. I actually thought this was going to be a bigger challenge for them against the Tide, but they managed to get through it.
No. Boxy showing himself in the bot lane again. He has been chopped down at 2 or 3 trees this game.
Yeah, he's pretty low level. He needs a bit of space here. He's level 5 and at 13 on that monkey.
Yeah, not a particularly great start for him, but he's going to spot out Roger. Going to attempt to take the gate, but the Boundless Strike will cancel it. There's the mech. Trying to TP out the old-fashioned way. Will barely get back to base.
Yeah.
Living on a very close.
Actually, a little bit of a mistake there from Boxy. I think he stunned way too early, and that was a little bit of muscle memory, I want to say, from the earlier gate. I think he stunned with more than a second channel left on the gate. Obviously, they got changed from 3 to 4. If he waits a bit longer on that stun, they get the kill on Roger, because he has to commit on the gate for as long as possible. So, slight misstep there. Could have got them a kill. Not the end of the world, but for himself in particular and the Monkey King, that kill is actually pretty impactful. Now he will find the 14-minute wisdom here, which will help him a lot. This will get him bridge the gap to level 6.
Let's see how much it gives him. Oh, yeah.
Almost.
That feels good.
And he could technically TP to the left side and take that one as well, but more than likely going to leave that for someone else, maybe Nisha.
Well, Boxy took the other, or yeah, actually you're right, it's still there. And we'll see who ends up taking that, but
It goes to Mickey.
Liquid do have control of that area, so yeah, they do get both. And we have a smoke now, double damage onto the Quap. They can find something, but actually breaks the smoke just to kill some Wild Wings. As you can see, no members of Liquid in this area. And Roger has quite a few creeps at his disposal now. I mean, what are the most popular creeps these days for the Chen players?
Oh, that's a good question.
There's
I mean,
a
there's
lot
so
to
many,
choose from.
so many options. I mean, Roger loves his troll summoners, that's for sure.
Hasn't found any.
No, he hasn't gotten it yet. Alpha Wolf is always going to be an S tier creep as long as it has this aura. Like, late game, this is just one of the best ones. If he gets the shard, I think there's some interesting ancient options, of course, which I'm assuming they will really try to prioritize getting the shards here because both his and the techies are actually very useful this game now that the taser... The old techie shard arguably was better, right? But with how the hero has been changed and Blast Off now being a stun, the shard being the reactive taser cast on allies is pretty useful against a hero like Terrorblade. So I think they would love to get the Tormentor as soon as possible. Just make sure to keep Ramses on the other side of the map and you'll do it just fine.
Never gonna live that. Another tree chopped down into a roar. Boxy just getting caught out again and again. You gotta give a lot of credit to 9 Pandas. Of course, they have the tree killing abilities. Nisha, though, they're gonna try to turn this around. Split Earth onto Miero. Mickey popping that Metamorphosis will be killing off the creeps of the Chen as Miero will eventually drop to the Pulse Nova, so ends up being a 1-for-1 in Liquid's favor.
Mickey actually showed up and popped meta. Felt a little bit unnecessary here. Not sure if he was anticipating a bigger fight to break out, but I guess he wants to use it to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower, so fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, he will do just that. And we'll see now that that 20-minute mark is approaching relatively soon if they're going to occupy this space even more. But they're going to first TP into the top lane, trying to get Antares on this very annoying techies. Split Earth is there. He gets off a couple mines, but inevitably will die again.
Nicely distributed from Liquid. They still push the bot tower with Terrorblade, so they get both objectives. If you want to call a techies kill an objective, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but they accomplish both plays at the same time. Don't really lose much efficiency. Nisha kind of wants to be up here anyway to just push out and farm.
They protect an objective as well in the tier 1.
That is true.
Zai has his Greaves. And I don't know if he's going to turn this Ring of Health into an eventual pipe. I would assume that might be the case. Kiyotaka going to be forced out by Zai, who is pretty high level, level 12 right now. Looks like he'll go for the cloak into Blink, so maybe pipe after the Blink. Now that is a little bit harder to build without the hood being a component anymore.
Their lineup doesn't have that much catch, right? It's the Monkey King stun. And Boxy's game has not been great, and he has level 1 Boundless only. So if Zai can jump in and set things up for his other teammates, that's probably a well worth investment.
Gotta love that diabolic edict interaction into the trees. Seen that time and time again as the tier 2 tower fortification popped. Backdoor is protecting it for a decent amount of time as well, so it'll be slow, but I do believe 9 Pandas are just gonna give this one up.
Yep, they're trying to trade for bottom. Roger has found a troll summoner.
Oh yeah, the Skelly boys are back.
So,
but the defense is mounting for Liquid as Boxy jumps in and kills a lot of them. Gonna be happy about that one. Of course, a lot of the XP shared, so not really able to gain any significant XP for himself. As Roger and company will back away safely. But tower advantage definitely in favor of Liquid right now. But the gold lead just slightly in 9 Pandas' favor, which, like you brought up earlier, I'm sure they're happy with, considering the state of the game. Manta style now online for Ramses.
yeah, he hasn't really been involved in anything from 9 Pandas just yet. He's just quietly been farming. He's 0, 1, and 0, and just keeps ramping up. I'm assuming Heart is next to come. The matchup against Lesh is interesting because Lesh has timing windows where he just completely obliterates PL, but you can also reach critical mass in some teamfight situations, especially if you manage to kill the Oracle first, so you can just overwhelm Lesh when you're big enough. So we'll be curious to see.
Boxy, another tree chopped down. My goodness. They are all over this right now.
And here's the problem. Yep. Starts getting drained.
Mana's starting to get drained ever so slowly, getting slowed by the sticky bomb. The Triceratops doing some work as well. Pops the Bloodstone. There's the Roar on top, and they're doing so much damage from afar. They don't really have to fully commit. Sonic Wave. False Promise keeping Nisha alive right now, but there's the Blast Off Ravage to come. Nisha's at full HP as a result of the False Promise, and the rest of 9 Pandas now retreating for the time being. Nisha perpetually slowed, it feels like, as Ramses thinking about going back in. He's going to get stunned out, getting extremely low. Pops that Doppelganger, will find the distance. Now they might just wait out this Mickey Terrorblade Metamorphosis.
So when all said and done, that was a 1-for-1. I guess they killed Boxy to start, so 2-for-1.
Yeah, the False Promise is a real issue, and it's going to be hard to kill Insania for that. This is obviously a comfort pick from him. He picks it regardless of the meta. We saw it, I think it was the first pick of the tournament, early on in the tournament, where nobody was picking this hero, and he's very good on it.
I do like the way 9 Pandas set it up, though. I mean, first they kill the Monkey King, and then they roar the Lesh to force the Oracle to come out of hiding and use that ult, and then they just kill him off, right?
Yeah.
If... Oh no, Ramses not again.
Are they killing the Tormentor?
No.
Oh,
Roger!
Ramses, please!
Oh my god, he's trying to get revenge on Roger.
The Tormentor remembers Ramses. He wants blood.
Dude, this is literally 9 Pandas' strongest opponent in this tournament. They cannot beat this one.
Miero coming to help out.
Ramses, don't do it. Don't do it.
Ramses going back in. He has no fear.
There it is. All right.
And the shard will be picked up onto Roger.
Yeah, that's good. So now he has the ability to take one Ancient.
Yes.
I think I'm a little bit torn between whether you want the Dragon or the Golem. So obviously the Golem aura is really nice, but perhaps some split pushing with the Dragon could also cause trouble for Liquid, who will claim the biggest neutral of them all.
That's right. Mr. Roche, he has gone down. Nisha will take the Aegis, one of the best Aegis carriers in the game, of course, on that Lesh. But yeah, from Chen's perspective, Shard, like you said, allowing you to take Ancients now, but also adds that extra level to the creeps.
Yep.
And now that we're at the 20-minute mark, that means they can be up to level 3, and then at the 30-minute mark, you can max them out at the level 4 abilities, which is only available to Chen. And, you know, I have to go through the notes again to see every single neutral creep and how they actually scale. I know that the Ancient Granite Golem does scale very well, because the level 1, I think, is the old regular level in terms of how much HP gain you get. Not sure about the Dragon, though. Have to see once he picks an Ancient to go with. Of course, he could still just go with the Skelly boys. They did serve him quite well in the tournament so far. There's the Ancient Granite Golem for Miero.
Took over a new creep just in time, so Nisha got no bounty. He ends up dominating a Kobold Foreman. This is the tankiest Kobold Foreman you guys will probably ever see. 1860 health.
I wonder what's in that cup. That's what everybody... Oh, yeah. Delicious. Love that guy. Need to get some more lore concerning him. As the Blink Dagger now up for Zai, so they have a real way to initiate. So next time Boxy gets cut down from a tree, there will be a Ravage soon after, I'm sure.
You still got to be pretty careful as Zai. I don't think just blink ravaging, even if you hit multiple heroes, is necessarily great. You really need Nisha to be able to connect on it immediately. If the stun duration goes to waste, you're setting up PL for a much, much better fight.
Yeah, trying to kill off Roger's creeps. Oh, the Wild Wind takes it. And the Ogre guy, whatever his name is, with the ice armor dies as well. Nobody remembers his name.
The Ogre guy.
They just remember his spell. Okay, it's the ice armor dude. He can't survive as the Aghanim Scepter now up for Kiyotaka. Have yet to cast a game with this one, but that is going to be fun. And Tier 2 tower falls.
While this may be slightly slower than average, I think that is a bit skewed from previous queens not going these 2 build-up items in Witchblade and Kaya Sanj, because he is farmed.
Yep, Ancient Dragon was the choice. Actually, I think that's Miero's creep. As Mickey in that meta, pressuring this Tier 3 tower bot along with Nisha, obviously still with the Aegis. Split Earth connects on a Kiyotaka, but he'll blink away. They will get the tower freely. Now Ramses has come. It's off a Spirit Lance. Now applying some pressure to Mickey. This early Sun, there's a big Ravage from Zai. How much damage do they have, though? Kiyotaka able to blink out. Sonic Wave comes, pushing Nisha back as Ramses getting very low, being pursued from the other side of the trees. Will find the distance into the fountain as the Wukong's command gives a little bit of space, but they're not able to get that much. They get Antares, but no full set of racks for Liquid as Nisha might be in some trouble. Boxing Company trying to save a nice Centaur stomp onto 2. Nisha looks like he'll drop his first life in all likelihood. He's deniable. Will they pursue any further? Boxy attempting to TP out will be fine. Nisha, Aegis down. In all likelihood will be surrounded now. Attempting to TP out.
That's
ambitious thought. Yeah. Double kill for Kiyotaka and a successful defense from 9 Pandas.
Great hold from them. That just goes to show you that looked like a great Ravage, but just barely, just lacking a little bit of damage. And once they get to reset, you kind of have to get the hell out of there as Liquid. You used Monk Heal, you used Ravage, and you didn't get kills.
Yeah.
It's just a hard disengage, but 9 Pandas are on their tail really quickly with the defusal of the PL, and of course Queen of Pain has good chase potential too. Didn't let them get away with that one. Now 5k lead for them. Obviously a huge part of this net worth discrepancy is the Chen. This hero farms a lot, and after the change where you get gold when you use Holy Persuasion as well, it just gets even richer. So you see here the Ramses PL barely getting saved by the Sonic Wave. He gets to reset back, and this push is actually over now, but it's really hard to get out for Liquid. They've already used Oracle, there's a Techie's cutting him off on the back, and Nisha's in really deep, so yeah, no Oracle ulti here, and that stomp's just very nice.
That was nice. That was beautiful.
Queen of Pain damage is pretty nuts too.
Yeah, that's the. Let's talk about the Aghanim Scepter, because there's actually an interesting interaction that I think I just saw, but I might be wrong, so you have to correct me. So the way the Aghanim Scepter works is the Shadow Strike is now an AoE. Might have to hold this thought though. This will be a very long discussion. It'll probably take 30 minutes to explain. As Ramses will find Nisha in the tree line. Doppelgangs out of the Split Earth. Nicely timed. Nisha pops the Bloodstone relatively early. Boxy with the Wukong's command. Miero gets off his roar onto Insania, and that is a big kill, but Nisha already had that false promise applied. And Kiyotaka on the outskirts, getting more Shadow Strikes over and over and over. Nisha still being pursued and will eventually be brought down. Mickey gets a nice Sunder onto Roger, but he's still surrounded. Another Shadow Strike, another Sonic Wave, a full team wipe. Kiyotaka and company absolutely destroy Liquid in this fight.
Did Nisha die to a Sticky Bomb in the fountain?
Maybe.
He died to Techies in the fountain.
That's insane.
All right, I mean, okay, they're at least getting one lane here, I'm sure.
You're sure.
Yep.
20 seconds on Nisha's spawn timer here.
This is a pretty
lot of
fast
creeps.
push.
Yeah, they're gonna pop that fortification.
No need to go back here. They know Ravage is available, but 15 seconds. This goes pretty quickly.
So they will even it up with the towers. Will they be able to get the set of racks as well? And even if the Terrorblade comes back, you will not have meta. We've seen this so many times with these transformation type heroes. And 9 Pandas. Looks like they want to back. So
I was sure they were going to get that. Okay, they got the range tracks, but not the full side.
Yeah.
Still a huge win for them. That's about a 10,000 gold swing because they stomped that fight. I think, was that a 5-for-0? No, they lost
5
Roger.
for 1. Yeah, Roger died.
So 5-for-1. They get the tier 3 tower. They get 1 barracks, and Now all of a sudden, things are ramping up really, really nicely.
Yeah.
Ramsey's now with the Mage Slayer. So you wanted to talk about the Queen Eggs.
Yeah, okay.
I think I know where you're going with
So
this.
AoE Shadow Strike, and then when the Shadow Strike ends or is reapplied,
Yeah.
it casts Scream of Pain. When it's dispelled via Kraken Shell, what happens? Because I could have sworn I saw Scream of Pain go off. Because if you're reapplying it over and over on the Tidehunter, he's technically hurting his teammates with the Scream of Pain, right?
Yeah, I guess the scream ends when it gets dispelled, right?
That's what I'm not 100% sure of. But that is an interesting interaction. You can take advantage of a hero being extremely tanky.
So what I
Very rare
thought you were
occurrence.
going to say was if you have Shadow Strike on Terrorblade's illusions and they time out.
Oh, that.
Because then it technically ends as well, right? I have to say I don't know this for a fact. This is I mean, this Axe was a thing in the previous patch, but people bought it very rarely, and we didn't really get to see it have great effect as we do now. Tara's gonna miss that one.
Yeah, boxing
Box should be
TPs on
okay.
the tree is fine. But either way, 9Pan is able to take advantage of that timing. The high ground defense was successful, and they kind of just flipped this game upside down, and now in a very favorable position. 15K lead at the 29-minute mark. Tormentor still not taken by Liquid, by the way. It's just been sitting there ready to be consumed.
That's pretty surprising, because I think this is an awesome game for Reign of Destiny. I think you want to get the shard as much as possible when you have Oracle in your team. This spell is generally good, but there's just some games where it's better than others. In this case, Reign of Destiny against PL is pretty nice. You know, it's kind of a cluster game where a lot of things are grouping up all the time, so you get added value. Yeah, that's very surprising. The Monkey King shard not as good this game, but we even saw some cool usages with that yesterday.
Yep. I will take back my words. It's not a meme. It's underrated, probably. Not too bad. You wouldn't be sad to get that. But yeah, Reign of Destiny, obviously extremely good. Obviously a nerf version versus the Ags from the prior patch, but I think it went from like, it was like a 40% nerf or something like it. It's still really good.
It's amazing.
Okay, looks like they remember that the Tormentor exists.
They're like, it's 30 minutes, guys. Let's get ready for the Tormentor. Oh, wait, we never killed the first one.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick one.
And
I don't know.
the Monkey King.
It will be Monkey King. Does that thing get angrier as time goes on? The crowd is cheering for something. I know you're confused, Syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, Roche. He's back. He's going to be gone on now by 9Pandas. And you can see Liquid kind of hightailing to this area, but I think it's going to be too late. So this is going to be the not the Aghanim, separate, the Aegis and Cheese, second Roche for 9Pandas.
This is huge for
Now
them.
the real question is, does Liquid want to fight after the fact?
Ramses can play so aggressively now that he has Aegis. There's no risk. This is one of the problems that Tide has until in this stage of the game until Super League and was refreshed. Okay.
Oh, the
just
Ravage
going.
from Zai. Do they have the damage? They're going to go for Roger first. Absolutely. He is donezo. Miero, he does get off the roar. Where's that false promise? Finally applied to Nisha, but a big sonic wave comes out from Kiyotaka as Ramsey's trying to finish off everybody on the sideline. Insane getting pretty low. Nisha about to end the false promise. He's fully healed as a result. Zai ends up dropping, though, as Mickey's still in that meta form. Two have died from 9Pandas. Ramses, remember, he still has this Aegis. But how much do they want to actually put on him? Looks like they'll get that first life as Boxy attempting to TP out next to the gate. Will not get out, though. More burst damage from Kiyotaka. And the rest of Liquid will have to fall back.
That fight actually went a lot better for Liquid than I expected with the start, because keep in mind the PL, you Ravage and you kill off one support, but PL in the fight has effectively 2 full health bars afterwards, but they navigated it pretty well. They got off a good false promise and found a couple of kills, and with PL losing this Aegis, I think 9Pandas would have loved to use this to try to end the game. And now we might end up dragging this one out quite a bit, because as I was going to say, one of Tide's issues in this stage of the game is the hero doesn't fight too well into Aegis, right? Like, Ravage is a really important tool. You often want to use it to kill a key enemy core, but if that core has Aegis, your cooldown is just way too long. And it's a very high commitment spell. You can't just, like, play around it, and yeah, it's tough. So
Well, that's kind of the issue, is they're running with 2 long cooldown spells in the meta and the Ravage, right?
yeah,
So
very true. You definitely need to get value when you use these spells, or 9Pandas are just going to take advantage of you.
yeah, I would say the longest cooldown on the side of 9Pandas that they kind of rely on is Roar, and that's not very long. It's a minute. I guess the Queen of Pain ult is a little bit longer, but I don't know if you necessarily like have to have that available for a fight. Obviously, you'd like to, but
Did you mention the drums of Slom?
I did not. We have to hold that thought.
And we also have the minefield sign.
Oh.
Techies with the eggs as well. So this is going to be an absolute mess. It's going to be drums of Slom. There's going to be the minefield. There's Queen of Pain Shadow Strike. The amount of AoE damage that this Dire lineup has is actually kind of disgusting when you think about it.
Yeah, but Nisha does have Shard now, so Split Earth will continue to go off over and over, which for high ground defense is pretty damn good.
Yep.
But yeah, drums of Slom. Now, my question to you, I don't know if you played Beastmaster yet, but does the drumming become annoying as the players? Like literally for the rest of the game, you're going to hear drumming in your ears, right?
That's a good question. I think that's individual.
Okay. So there's a lot of people with ADD that would be pretty annoyed.
And I'm digging the beat.
Yeah, it's good for now. Just wait 20 minutes later.
It's a little bit fast, doesn't it?
Of course, it increases.
A bit distracting.
But yeah, this is definitely a cool Aghanim Scepter, and I believe they buffed in the last patch, right? So even better than before.
I mean, it would be cool if you're a drummer that you played more than just one single. It literally plays the same sound over and over again. Like get a kit or something.
Yeah, true. They need to add more musical Aghanim Scepters in the game, so that way you can have a full symphony with the right 5-man lineup.
Symphony of skill.
That's right. But yeah, Miero is mega tanky. This is not a hero you want to go on. He's about to hit that level 20 as well. As a smoke coming up. And I do want to talk about the Techie's Mind Sign, but we're going to have to wait in all likelihood. Nisha showing himself. He's immediately inhibited at half HP. Insanity is not near enough for the False Promise. Finally getting in range. Gets it off just in time. Now they're trying to focus them down, but a big ult again from Zai. But where is the damage from Liquid? They lose the Oracle. Roger's going to be the trade. Nisha, he will die inside of the False Promise. Too much damage to handle, and Mika is next. 4 dead for Liquid. 9 Pandas getting basically everything that they want. 3 buybacks available from Liquid, but again, they don't have meta. I mean, the TB doesn't have buyback anyway, and no Ravage. So now, 9 Pandas pretty comfortable to go for these tier 4 towers.
Yeah, so watch this blast off there, slowing down Insania in the back. He does get False Promise off in the end, but Nisha is already almost fully drained of mana, can't really stand his ground, and now this fight is just absolutely over. Just a little bit of a misstep from Liquid, out of position for a team fight.
Continue going here. The tier 4 tower fell for the first one. Second one being targeted now. Buyback comes out from Zai. He jumps in with a big anchor smash onto one hero. Not really that fearsome at all for 9 Pandas, as now they're going to go through the old-fashioned way, getting that tier 3 in the mid lane. As Zai continuing to just get poked and prodded with these sticky bombs, these shadow strikes, pops the pipe, definitely helping a bit. As Kiyotaka, he can focus now on the tier 4 towers. The rest of his team gets the mid-racks. And there's the Techie's Mind Sign, creating a minefield for him that no one from Liquid want to enter.
It's a theoretically really good pushing spell, right? Where you do get it placed offensively like that if Liquid were to take a team
down
fight.
The strike into, okay, pops the BKB to avoid the split earth. 2 sets of racks in favor of 9 Pandas. Mickey still with no Metamorphosis. Sonic Wave is going to connect onto both cores for Liquid, but 9 Pandas, they're going to play this disciplined. They forced out at least one buyback, I think, onto Zai, if I'm not mistaken. 25k lead now and firm control of this game.
Yeah, it's just at this point for 9 Pandas, it's just a matter of don't drop the ball, right? If you play tight, if you don't get caught off guard and you save each other, as they have so far, they should be able to ride this one to a W. And Liquid understand this. They know, okay, we have to kind of catch them by surprise. So they're going to go for an immediate smoke move here and try to see if they can intercept 9 Pandas' full reset. Obviously, Queen of Pain out of mana will have to go all the way back to base, and Liquid trying to get an opening on maybe this Beast. It's just hard.
He's a hard kill. I don't know if you can.
There's a 9-second BKB now as well on Miero. I feel like your lineup just flat out doesn't kill this hero when he's BKB'd. Even if Terrorblade is laying into him, as long as he's banging the drums, as long as they have all their heals, Greaves.
How far we've come. If you told me that you'd be saying this in a cast, banging his drums is going to keep him alive. What a stupid thing to say, but it's very relevant in this game. Terrorize, or Torment, whatever the hell this thing's called. The building is dead. Aghanim Shard goes to the Beastmaster now, so his Hawks will have Dive Bomb, which only roots now, right?
250 damage and a 2-second root. Pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Could make for an interesting play against the Oracle. Maybe we can catch him off guard and root him as he's coming in to try to save a core, but more likely is just going to be a 5v5 static fight where everything will be cast and the side of 9 Pandas will try to overpower it all.
Yeah, we've been seeing this a lot in this patch where one team gets an early advantage. They're able to starve out basically the whole map, and if you're able to do that, you get more wisdom runes on average, and of course the bounties in terms of the gold, huge discrepancy.
Right,
as Kiyotaka just goes straight in, gets that last tier 4, now focusing on the Ancient. Scream of Pain is there, so he'll have that shield rune's gonna get stunned to outright. Zai with a nice Ravage. Kiyotaka at half HP, but able to get off that BKB as the Roar expended just for Mickey. Zai now basically out of mana as Kiyotaka looking for a nice Sonic Wave, clips him, kills out Tidehunter. No buyback at all as Mickey now gets off the Sunder. The False Promise a little bit early. Might have to fall back into the base as this runs out. Nisha will not have that for himself. And the Ancient targeted by all the creeps right now. Boundless Strike is there, but Kiyotaka and company able to finish off Mickey just before he steps into the fountain. Kiyotaka still relatively low, kind of baiting everybody in as the Spoilers continue to mount, but they can just focus down to the Ancient, and that is it for game.